Good morning, my beautiful friends. Happy Friday. It is indeed Friday. We are heading into awesome Saturday, heading into the weekend. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. We are here this morning to say some nice things about ourselves, and we're going to be working today with my I Am deck. This deck is just full of positive affirmations, beautiful, wonderful things that we can say in order to affirm what is true, what is right, what is pure about ourselves and affirm it about the people around us too. So we're going to have some fun and say some good stuff. So today I have in my hand here, I have some I am cards, and we're going to pull one, and I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and you're going to respond out loud. I am the affirmation on the card, and then we're going to write about it in the chat, and after we do that, then we are going to just affirm it for each other. So let's have some fun today. And by saying that today I am charitable. I am charitable. I share from an abundance of heart. So I am charitable. I share from an abundance of heart. Are you charitable? You are charitable. You share from an abundance of heart. I'm going to write that down into the comments, and as I do, I share from an abundance of heart. As I do that, I am making it real. I'm making it real. It used to just exist on the card, and now it exists in my head, and now it exists on the internet, and now you've heard me say it. And as we expand this, this is really how consciousness expands. This is how these feelings expand, is by talking about them, by writing them down, by sharing them with other people, by exposing these thoughts to others, that we are charitable and that we do share from an abundance of heart. I remember once somebody told me, they said, charity is something where you can't give from your cup, you have to give from your saucer. We can only give from our overflow. We can't give from, when we don't have anything to give, we can't give it. And so charity starts with ourselves. Charity starts from making sure that we take care of ourselves well enough that there's overflow. I've seen so many people who are charitable in their hearts, and yet they give so much that they have nothing left inside. And then, of course, they burn out and are unable to sustain their charity. I recall once that I was doing some charity work, and I was doing some charity work with kids, and because I was in that sphere, that I ran into a lot of other people who were also doing charitable work, and one of the people that I talked to about the work that they were doing, was very proud of the fact that his charity ran on a complete shoestring, and he did something really cool for kids, but his charity ran on a shoestring, and he was talking about things like how the charity, or he drove a base model car that didn't even have air conditioning. Like he didn't put on the air conditioning as he drove down the road, because if he did that, he would get worse gas mileage, and that it would cost the charity a little bit of extra money, and all the money needed to go to the kids. Not a single penny could be spared for him to have air conditioning in his car as he drove down the road. Which, if you know anything about cars, turning on the air conditioning will maybe make your car use an extra, you might get half a mile less per gallon when you have the air conditioner on in your car versus just sweating. And I remember driving with this guy, and he had all the windows open, and it was a hot Texas day, and we were just sweating, and pulling over to gas stations to get water, and to take care of ourselves a little bit better. And he was bragging on it about how every single penny that was donated to his charity went to the kids that he served, to the point where he wouldn't even turn on the AC in his car. And so him and I were both suffering. And as we got to the event where he was supposed to be serving these kids, he was exhausted, and ultimately, like, other people had to help him. And I made a decision that day. I said, I'm going to make sure that when I give, that I'm giving from my saucer and not from my cup, that I'm giving from my overflow. I chose this picture of a fountain to represent charity because it's overflowing. One is overflowing into another, which is overflowing into another. And to me, that really represents what giving is all about. We give from the top and we give just a little bit. We give what we can. But the people to whom we give it also have the capacity to give, and so it multiplies. And then the people to whom they serve, they also have the capacity to serve, and so it multiplies. And charity comes from an abundance of our heart. It comes from an abundance of our caring. And I recall a story about the very famous preacher Charles Spurgeon, known as the Prince of Preachers, is what this guy was known as. If you've ever had if you've ever been involved in theology or ever been involved in religious study, you'll probably come across this guy's name, Charles Spurgeon. But he was a very, very well-known preacher in London in the 1800s. And one day, Charles Spurgeon was on a train, and he was traveling first class. He was a very well-known guy. He was traveling first class on the train. He met another preacher, and the other preacher says, "I'm traveling third class because I'm taking care of God's money." And Charles Spurgeon said, "Well, I'm traveling first class because I'm taking care of God's servant." And what a paradigm shift that is when we consider that in order for us to give to others, we must ourselves be fed first. We must ourselves be full. We cannot give from an empty cup. We can only give from an overflow, from an abundance. And so we can have an abundance of love in our hearts. We can have an abundance of material possessions. We can have an abundance of desire to help other people. And we can only give from that abundance. If we don't love ourselves, how can we love others? If we don't have a dime to our name, how can we give to others who need it? If we don't really care about other people, then our charity is worthless. Our love is worthless. We have to care. We have to love the others, and we have to do it in a way that doesn't hurt us. If we die in the process of helping other people, did we really do anything charitable? Of course not. So I am charitable today. You are charitable too, and I'm fortunate and blessed to be surrounded by so many people who do share from an abundance of their heart, who give the right gifts at the right time, who say the right words at the right time, and who do not hurt themselves in the process of loving and caring about other people. So I am charitable today, and I'm excited to see how this card manifests in my life. In the evening tonight at 9 p.m., I'm going to revisit this card at nightfall with Maui Paul, and I'm going to see just how it looked in my world, and I'm going to be on the lookout for other people's charity, other people's charitable inclinations and intentions. So I'm pretty excited about that. I see, good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Lauren. I see you guys are over here. Good morning, Brenda Jean. I see that you are here too. And you ladies are all very charitable people. I know that you all give good gifts, and you give them from an abundance of yourselves. And in doing so, Shauna says, "I'll see you shortly." I know you will, Shauna. You're coming over to where I am because you're going to be doing a little bit of an act of charity today. We are. I'm organizing a team of volunteers right now to sort out our giveaways for this weekend, and there's a whole bunch of people who are going to be giving of their time and their energy on their Friday while they're at a resort, and they could just be relaxing. They're going to be giving of their time and energy in order to make sure that everybody here gets an amazing gift. How cool that is. So anyways, I will see you guys at 9 o'clock this evening for Nightfall with Maui Paul. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. I appreciate it when you share the stream. And I really appreciate it when you write these comments down, when you guys talk to each other. It's very encouraging to me. So I thank you so much. I will talk to you guys later. Until then, aloha from paradise.